The next morning, I wake up feeling refreshed. Kosei and Kira will be coming over today to work on our class project. I better get a move on. I throw on some clothes and head downstairs. It's no surprise to see Mina and Erilynn already awake and sitting at the kitchen table.
Morning, cuz.
This isn't the kitchen, this is the living room. She glances at the clock.
Or good afternoon is more like it.
Whatever, it's Sunday, I'm allowed to sleep in. I check the time. There's still 15 minutes before it's noon. Still counts. I find some leftover bread from the bakery and split it in half. I'll never understand how Mina is still a morning person on the weekends.
You may wish to hurry as we have company coming over.
She is dressed quite different, like, damn. I stuff the rest of the bread in my mouth. As if on cue, the doorbell rings. Again, dude with this outfit. Why does he always wear this outfit? I cross the front door and swing it open, revealing a grinning Kosei. Kira stands next to him. Hey guys, come on in. I step aside and shut the door behind them. They slip off their shoes and follow me into the kitchen. Mina beams as soon as they walk in.
Hi, guys.
Hey!
Kira nods. About all we're gonna get out of her. We all gather around the table. There's a moment of awkward silence. Nobody's really sure who should start talking. Finally, Mina speaks.
So, the project. Miss Sato gave us a lot of freedom with our presentation.
This is true.
If we can do anything to present, what should we do?
Some sort of creative art thing, a skit, regular presentation with a slideshow. I mean, let's put some Kira's talents to use, some sort of creative art thing. I think something creative would make it more fun.
Something creative. Like what?
I don't know.
We could add art to the presentation.
There, she's finishing my sentences and my thoughts. Erilynn doesn't look too sure.
Wouldn't it be easier to just go up there and talk about it? Why go through the effort of finding imagery?
We can always do both.
I suppose so.
She glances at Kira.
What did you have in mind?
Kira remains stoic as ever, but her fingers flinch in her lap.
I could draw some of the scenarios we research. It can be in the background while someone else presents.
Gives us a little bit of a different point of view, make it a little more exciting. That could work, as long as you don't mind doing all of the drawings.
I don't mind.
Mina perks up.
I think that sounds great. It'll be informative, but creative at the same time.
Yeah, sounds cool to me.
This way we don't keep everyone bored while we have to present, especially if we go last. Erilynn nods.
Yes, I'm glad that's settled.
Once we settle on how we should present, we start brainstorming. Mina begins delegating everyone's roles in the group.
Okay, if Kira wants to do the creative part, then the rest of us should figure out who will be putting together the presentation and who will be speaking.
She glances at Erilynn.
You are amazing at public speaking, Miss Grade Representative.
That's what my thought
I
was.
think you could present our information well while the rest of us put the research together.
Erilynn nods.
A most wise delegation.
She's not wrong. The roles are starting to get assigned, but what about me? How should I approach this? The supportive partner, the leader, the bare minimum partner. I don't want to be that last one. I'm not the leader because if you have too many leading personalities that you never get anything done, I'll just be supportive. Group projects are a team effort. I want to make sure I give this my best. Let me know what you guys need me to do. Mina nods.
Since we're splitting the research, how about you start with looking up our current regime?
Okay. I crack open a book and begin taking notes. This project's coming along smoothly. The rest of our time on the project seems to go by smoothly. I think we'll actually make a pretty good team. When we take a break, Mina clears her throat.
Now that all of that's out of the way,
She splits into a wide grin.
Are you guys excited for the hot springs trip this year?
Why am I surprised there's a hot springs?
Oh, hot springs? That sounds promising. I used to frequent the private hot springs back home
Sweden. I cough pointedly.
in Sweden, but I haven't been to one in a while.
Good recovery. Mina's eyes widen.
Did you say you have your own private hot spring?
No, she just said the private ones. I think those are the ones that have single pools so you don't have to relax with a group. Are those real? I have no idea. Anything is possible in this fake Sweden. Mina seems to accept it.
I see. Well, I'm excited anyway. And I can't wait to hang out there with Erilynn and Kira.
I think hot springs are quite relaxing.
They certainly are.
Indeed.
It seems like Kira is looking forward to it too. The only person who has been strangely quiet is Kosei. What about you, Kosei? Are you excited?
Nah, not really.
What? Why not? He shrugs.
It just doesn't seem that cool, to be honest.
What are you talking about? I thought you loved the hot springs.
Yeah, we're going to be staying in cabins and everything. There will be campfires and hiking. How's that uncool?
It doesn't matter. I'm not going anyway.
Now I'm confused. Mina blinks, surprised.
Why not?
I just don't have time for it.
With your work schedule?
But it's a school trip, so it's happening during school.
Yeah, but it's overnight and I can't get the time off work.
Ah, that's what we thought. I get the feeling there's more to this than he's letting on. Before Mina can argue, Kosei checks the time and then clears his throat.
Speaking of which, sorry guys, but I have to go to work.
She pauses, then nods.
Aw, okay. Do you know what you have to work on for the project?
Yep, I'll email it over tonight.
He stands up and brushes himself off, then waves goodbye.
See you guys later.
So what's going up with him? Something's weird. The girls wave. I'll walk you out. We make our way to the front door, out of earshot of the others. So, are you really not going to the hot springs?
Yeah, I'm really not going.
That's a bummer. Kosei's my best friend. It wouldn't be the same without him there. I bet if you tell your manager it's a trip for school, they'll let you have the time off. Kosei's face changes.
Dude, that's not the reason.
I knew you were lying to me. Thought you said it was. He falls silent. Work is really important to him. I know he works so hard to help out his mom, who's raising him and his siblings on her own. I think back to how his entire wardrobe outside of school is out of date, and how the doorbell was broken the last time I visited. When I think of it that way, all the pieces suddenly fall into place. Oh. This is really unfair. Kosei deserves to go on this trip. He puts on a brave face.
Don't worry, there'll always be next time.
You're surprisingly upbeat about this.
I'll see you around, okay?
He turns to go, but an idea suddenly lights up in my head. Hey, wait a sec. He stops as I shuffle my wallet out of my pocket.
No, man.
Ignoring his protests, I hand him the money. No, really. It's fine. He shakes his head.
I'm serious. I can't accept something like that.
Got some honor. That's why we're friends. Kosei is resolute in his decision. He probably doesn't want to feel like a charity case. He still has his pride, and I'm one of the few people who knows his family's situation. What are you talking about? I'm not giving you the money. This is a loan.
A loan?
Yeah, and just like a loan, I expect it to be paid back, so take it. That seems to change something in him. He still looks uncertain, but he finally accepts.
Wow. You must have worked a lot of overtime to earn this kind of money.
What can I say? Yeah, but it's okay. I'll be getting it back anyway. With interest.
Uh-oh. What'd I get myself into?
Kosei finally smiles. He nods, looking more like his old self again. He clasps a hand on my shoulder.
Thank you.
Anything for my best friend? Bring it in. It's fine. Hey, anything for you, bro. The bromance is real. A grin sprawls across my face. No problem. It wouldn't be half as fun without you. He nods.
I'm finally getting excited.
Me too. Kosei glances at the time again.
Okay, now I really gotta get going if I don't want to be late for work. I don't need you breaking my kneecaps if I don't pay this back in time.
Nah, I don't break kneecaps often. Alright, see you later.
Bye.
He smiles as he walks out the door, shutting it softly behind him. When I get back to the kitchen, only Kira and Erilynn are at the table. Erilynn lets out a groan. She slumps forward in her chair and cups her cheek in her palm.
What a long day. I can't believe how exhausting that was.
We got a lot of work done.
I know, but why do I have to do work on this project when I'm going home in a month? There are so many other things I'd rather do with my time.
You make it sound like it's so finite that you're going home in exactly 1 month. I pull up a chair and sit down. Because while you're here, you've got to act normal.
I can act normal without doing homework. Maybe this Sweden doesn't do homework.
I'm pretty sure they do. They do. Everyone does homework.
I understand.
I blink at Kira. You do?
Homework can be a pain.
She's not wrong. Erilynn smirks in satisfaction.
There, even Kira agrees. When I was back in Velden.
She stops, her eyes suddenly growing wide. Why did you stop? Kira knows you're not from this world, remember? Mina's behind me. Kira shakes her head. Yeah, you do. You know Erilynn's from Velden. Kira's gaze flicks to the side. What's going on with you guys?
Velden?
I'm in trouble. My stomach drops. I slowly turn around. Mina is staring at me, dumbfounded.
Did you just say Erilynn is not from this world?
No? It's time Mina knew the truth. Deny it, or ignore the question. But we did find out how bad this went last time I didn't tell the truth when I had the opportunity to. So, I mean, this is going to end poorly either way. So I may as well just tell her the truth. She is my family, after all. She's my cousin. So I may as well tell her the truth. I can't keep lying to her. There's no point in hiding it now. Mina overheard the truth, and the right thing to do is to admit it. Plus, Erilynn lives in the same house as her. It's only fair that Mina knows who she really is. Yes, I did. Mina glances at Erilynn.
Really?
Erilynn nods.
But how?
We don't really know.
And why here?
We don't know that either. Mina shakes her head.
This is all so confusing.
That's because he's not explaining it correctly.
Yes, I am. Shut up.
Yes, maybe we should start from the beginning.
I mean, that's always a good place to start with the story. We go into the explanation of everything we know so far, beginning with the wish and Kira's involvement and ending with Mrs. Tanaka and Erilynn's remaining time here. Every so often, Erilynn interjects with her own comments or clarifications. Kira lets us do most of the talking, but occasionally will share her side of the story. Mina listens quietly, her expression changing with each twist and turn in the story. She remains quiet even after we're done.
Are you okay, Mina?
Slowly, Mina nods. This is taking a very sudden turn that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Are you sure? She nods again, more confidently this time.
Yeah, I am. It's a lot to take in at once, but in a way it kind of explains some things.
Like what?
I don't know, like, some of the stuff Erilynn would say in the explanations would seem off.
I scratched my head, trying to remember some of the things I explained away. Was it really that obvious?
No, not really. But it was stuff like when Erilynn said they all use automated drones, and you said Roombas were all the rage in Sweden. It just all seemed very convenient.
Oh, that's the one thing that tipped you off. The Roombas.
I even Googled stuff about Sweden because it seemed like it was just so different there.
Yet you didn't bother to fact check me and call me out. Wait, really? I didn't expect that you'd Google it. She looks bashful.
I was honestly curious. Erilynn just seemed really confused about some basic things, and I wondered if life in Sweden was really that peculiar.
Kira looks intrigued.
What did you learn?
A lot of stuff, but nothing relevant to what I was looking for.
She learned a lot about actual Sweden. I hadn't realized Mina had been wondering about us. I guess sooner or later she would have discovered our secret anyways. Probably better that she learned of it now. Erilynn still looks worried.
Mina, are you not upset?
No, not even close. I'm honestly so relieved. I thought I was going crazy.
You still might be. That's a different story. A soft smile spreads across Erilynn's face.
Oh, good. I'm so happy to hear that.
But I do have one question. Why didn't you guys just tell me?
That's a very excellent question. I wasn't sure if you'd even believe it. I mean, people don't just fall out of the sky.
I guess that's true. But I'm your cousin. You know you can tell me anything.
That's why I decided to tell you now.
I only found out by accident. I don't believe it's something that's easily shareable.
Because it's kind of crazy.
I apologize for keeping it from you, Mina.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You should be. I could have been a big help in your investigation. Better late than never, I suppose. With my help, you're bound to get some answers.
Of course, it all falls back onto I'm the idiot. We talk about Velden and what it's like to be a princess for the rest of the evening. Mina's questions are endless, and when we finally check the time, it's late into the night. Kira excuses herself and goes home. The girls retreat into their rooms, and I return to mine. I feel myself grow weary, so I get ready for the night. I'm relieved that Mina is taking the news so well, and I'm glad that now I have her help and support too. That is going to help. No more secrets now we have to tell Kosei. As I slip into bed, I fall asleep, feeling positive about everything. Because he's going to need to know, because now 4 of us know, the 5th one needs to know too. He'll probably be a little more receptive to it. The past month has flown by. We've been preoccupied with balancing work, school, and the investigation. Makes it sound like we're cops or something. The bakery has been busier than ever. Business is booming, and my aunt and uncle race to keep up. Erilynn even offered to help out and is now a regular employee at the bakery. That's a surprise. She's somehow able to attract more customers, and my aunt and uncle are thrilled. Mina made the swim team and Kosei made the soccer team. They're both a force to be reckoned with. Mina broke the record for fastest backstroke within the team, and Kosei became the main reserve goalie. That's incredible for a first year. Hey, they're both doing well, that's good. On top of that, it sounds like things have been going well with Kosei's job. He's been in a great mood all month. Kira's officially part of the art club now. We've spent more time together lately. She doesn't share her artwork very often, but when she does, I'm always excited to see more. Her drawings and paintings keep getting better and better. She even seeks my opinion on certain concepts and styles. She's clearly learning a lot from the club. Erilynn spent a lot of time working on student council projects after school. I wasn't sure how seriously she was going to take her duties after the election, but she's done an impressive job so far. As a result, I haven't seen all that much of her over the past few weeks. It's a good thing she's found something to keep her busy. Always a good thing. I wake up Monday morning with a groan, blinking the sun out of my eyes. Then I get ready for the day and head downstairs for breakfast. We still haven't told Kosei, have we? For once, nobody is in the kitchen when I get there. Mina has swim practice this morning, so that explains why she's not there, and I'm sure my aunt and uncle have already left for the bakery. Having been a swimmer, I get it, early morning practices. Yay. Erilynn's bag is still here, so I know she hasn't left yet. I'm surprised. She usually gets up before I do. I sit down and start munching on breakfast. I'm sure she'll be here any minute. By the time I finished, she still hasn't appeared. It's getting pretty late. Maybe I should go check on her. Probably a wise idea. I walk upstairs and knock on her door. Hey, Erilynn.
Yes?
Her voice sounds muffled. Are you ready yet? Can I come in?
I suppose you may.
I push open the door and walk inside. Her books are scattered around the room and she's still curled up in bed. Are you still sleeping? I have to go in a minute. She doesn't move. Erilynn?
Go without me.
This isn't good. Is she sick? Are you not feeling well? What's wrong? With a sigh, Erilynn pushes herself up to a sitting position.
I simply don't feel up for attending school today. It would be best if you went without me.
I blink. Where did that come from? You can't skip school without a reason. I get that you'll be going back home and you don't think school's important, but you need to be there for your cover story to work.
Will I be returning home, though?
Huh? She turns to me.
Today officially marks the 32nd day, and I'm still here.
32nd day of what?
Since my arrival.
Wow. Has it been that long?
Yes, and I'm beginning to question whether or not I'll be rescued. If those random Veldens were rescued after a month's time, why am I still here? Have my parents even noticed my absence? I cannot think of any other reason why their search would take so long.
I think back to the conversation with Mrs. Tanaka. So that's what's been on Erilynn's mind. Has she been wondering about this for the whole month? Just counting down the days until her return? There's no deadline to return home. I guess that means you'll live here now. I mean, there's no deadline, really. Erilynn's putting too much pressure on herself. This isn't a race, and if it takes a little longer to return home, then that's okay. At the end of the day, she'll still end up in the same place whether she gets there now or later. I'm sure your parents are looking for you, just as those Veldens must have had someone looking for them too.
Then how is it that those Veldens returned home after a month and I haven't?
I don't know, but a month's time isn't a deadline. Her brows knit together in confusion.
I don't understand your meaning.
Maybe those Veldens only needed a month to return, but just because you need more time doesn't mean you'll never make it home. You said it yourself. You're a princess. Of course your family will be looking for you, and maybe it's taking a bit longer to find you than expected. But that doesn't mean they won't ever find you. Plus you have me, Kira, and now Mina working on a way to get you back home. There's no chance that you'll be stuck here forever. Erilynn pauses, then shakes her head.
I understand what you're suggesting. However, I find it hard to believe that my family would have more difficulty locating me than whoever rescued those common Veldens.
How do you know they're just common Veldens? She pauses.
I suppose I just assumed they were.
What if they were here on a mission or an assignment and return home afterwards? Slowly, Erilynn nods, sitting a little straighter.
That is possible. We have scouts who navigate to other places. That pair very well could have been on a mission.
See, that's using your brain now. I'm sure they were, so don't give up hope just yet. Erilynn nods, more confidently this time. So, does that mean you're ready to go to school now?
I suppose so.
She's about to slip out of bed, then looks at me. I'll wait for you downstairs. I give her some space to finish getting ready. she meets me downstairs with her hair brushed and her uniform straightened, and the two of us begin our regular trek to school. It's quieter than normal. I'm sure Erilynn has a lot on her mind, and we're power walking to get there on time. When I arrive to homeroom, everyone else is already in their seats. I nod in greeting. Jared nods back while Mina and Kosei shoot me a small wave. Erilynn and I slide into our desk just as the bell rings. Talk about a close call.
All right, class. We have a lot to go over today, so please pay attention.
Yes, Miss Sato. I'll pay attention. The lesson starts like normal. As the day goes on, I can tell Erilynn isn't entirely back to herself. She doesn't raise her hand as much and spaces out for most of our lectures. That's not good. Clearly, she's worried, and it makes sense. I would be too. Finally, the bell rings, indicating our break. Before we separate off into groups, Mrs. Sato makes another announcement.
Enjoy your lunch, class. Don't forget that the hot springs trip is tomorrow. Make sure you
That's
arrive to
soon.
school in time to catch the bus in the morning.
The class buzzes with excitement as they leap for the cafeteria or stick around to eat in class. Mina and Kira cluster around Erilynn while Kosei seeks me out separately. He lowers his voice and hands me an envelope.
Here, I owe you this.
I peek inside to find the money I'd lent Kosei returned to me.
Thanks for helping me out, man.
With a smile, I accept the envelope. No problem. Hopefully you're not too tired. I know you must have worked a lot of overtime for this.
Yeah, but it'll be worth it to go on this trip.
This is true. Definitely. We join the girls and catch their conversation.
Wow, I can't believe the trip is tomorrow, guys. It's finally happening.
It's happening very soon.
I looked up where we're going online. It has very good reviews.
Ooh, that's promising.
Kosei flips his chair around before taking a seat.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so sweet.
I'm happy you're going after all, Kosei.
I told them everyone was going to be happy that he was going.
Yeah, that was a close one. I'm glad too.
As Mina and Kosei continue to discuss the trip, Erilynn keeps staring off into space. Kira tilts her head.
Erilynn, are you looking forward to the trip?
Erilynn blinks as if snapping out of a trance.
Oh, yes, I suppose so.
That doesn't sound like you're excited.
Mina's brows furrow.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yes, of course.
No one believes you. It's plastered clear across your face. She forces a smile.
This will be an enjoyable trip, so why wouldn't I feel positive about it?
Because you did the arm thing? Judging by the looks on everyone's faces, nobody is fooled.
Don't feel like you have to force yourself to be happy if you aren't.
What she said. Erilynn sighs.
My apologies. I don't mean to spoil the mood.
Kira and Mina both give me questioning looks that seem to ask if it's Velden related. I nod slightly. Erilynn's just feeling a bit homesick. The girls nod in understanding. Kosei perks up.
Oh yeah, you said you used to go to the hot springs back home all the time, right? Well, I'm sure your hot springs in Sweden were nice. The ones here are the best.
We really need to tell him.
How so?
The water is the perfect temperature. Just hot enough to be relaxing, but not so hot to feel scalding.
At least she's acknowledging his presence now. Yeah, that's true. Plus the cabins we're staying in are both rustic and modern, which means we can feel like we're out in nature and still have bathrooms.
Bathrooms are certainly preferred.
There will be a campfire where we can roast marshmallows and tell stories.
What sort of stories?
Yes, all the stories.
Usually ghost stories.
Erilynn doesn't look entirely convinced. I feel like I should chime in with something. The landscape is gorgeous, delicious, delicious food. You'll have fewer responsibilities. She does like food. She does like food. My mouth waters just thinking about the dinner we'll have at the hot springs. Not only will we have an awesome soak in the spring, afterwards we'll be treated to a delicious dinner. What could be better than a fancy meal, all for free? She raises a brow.
I should not be surprised you're thinking about food.
Do you not? Well, it is lunchtime. Erilynn looks at each of us in turn, and a genuine smile lights her face.
After all of that, how could I not be excited? I expect this trip will be really fun.
I think at any point in time I was going to get made fun of anyways. And it's going to be awesome indeed, Mina. As the group continues to chat, I pull Erilynn aside. Are you sure you're okay?
Yes, actually I feel much better.
Okay. What changed your mind? Her expression softens.
I'm still worried about returning home, but watching everyone try so hard to cheer me up reminded me that I'm not alone here.
Hey, that's what you got friends for.
You're correct. There is still hope.
See? She admits I'm right for once. Erilynn seems to be more at ease, and that helps alleviate my worries. We haven't forgotten about her situation, and she knows we're here for her. The rest of our lunch goes by smoothly. I'm glad we could get Erilynn excited about the trip again. Hopefully, her spirits will continue to go up from here. When lunch is over, we put our things away and rearrange our desks. Once everyone has taken their seats, the bell rings and Miss Sato approaches the front of the room.
All right, class. Let's open our books and get started.
Yes, Miss Sato. The rest of the day goes by faster since Erilynn is in a good mood. I'm glad she's snapping back to her old self. That's a good thing. Because I know that's definitely something I was a little concerned about, especially because she's always been so upbeat this entire time. Now to be down, that's uncharacteristic. Finally, the bell rings and everyone shoots to a stand. I gather my things and throw my backpack over my shoulder. Now that I'm free, who should I hang out with? Bam! Not even a question. I wonder what Kira has planned today. I glance around while everyone files out of the classroom, but she's nowhere in sight. I check the hall and the art room, but she isn't there either. Maybe she's outside? After weaving in and out of the crowd, I find myself in the quad. A few students are lingering in the grass or hanging out on the benches. Flash of raven hair waving in the breeze catches my attention. Kira sits on a bench by herself. She's bent over her sketchbook with her brows etched in concentration. Hey, Kira.
Oh, hello.
Mind if I sit next to you? She scoots down to give me room. I slide in next to her and roll my bag off my shoulder. Her fingers twitch around her sketchbook. I can make out a vague image of an anime girl. What are you working on?
Just sketching some things.
Cool. What kind of things?
Characters I created.
You made them? That's awesome. She nods and brushes her hair behind her ear. So, who is this girl?
I haven't thought about it yet. I only drew her based on inspiration.
Let's give her a story.
Hmm.
I can help you make one. Kira lifts her head, intrigued.
Okay.
She shows me the drawing again. I see. Hero, a loud angry type, cool and mysterious, a cute cat girl. Well, since I don't have anything to go off on, I'm gonna go with the description that kinda describes her. Someone cool and mysterious.
That's a good idea. Quiet and mysterious characters are one of my favorite types.
How did I know that? It's like I'm magic. I hold her gaze and smile. Mine too. She matches my smile. Okay, with every good character, there needs to be a cool backstory. She nods. Do you have any ideas? She falls silent and fiddles with her pencil.
Maybe she's a noble woman who wanted more out of her life. She has all these expectations weighed on her, but her dreams have nothing to do with her nobility.
Now correct me if I'm wrong in saying it sounds like this inspiration comes from possibly a true story of someone you are quite familiar with. That's a good start. Who do you think she wants instead? Or what do you think she wants instead?
I don't know yet.
She wants to be a knight. She wants to use her magical powers to save others. She wants to be a mecha pilot. That's any PixelFade waifu, any Ace Academy waifu, Crystalline waifu. Let's go with the magical one. We'll see how this works. She has secret magical powers that nobody knows about, and she wants to use that to save others. Kira thinks about it.
That could be interesting. When her powers activate, she transforms into her magical persona.
Yes. Yeah, a secret identity magic girl. Kira nods and adds more to her design by giving the character an intricate outfit with a magical scepter.
Now we need an actual story.
She thinks about it.
So, there was a noble woman who wanted more out of her life. She discovered she had magical abilities, but knew her family would never approve of her putting herself in danger. Whenever there was a threat to the community, she'd transform into her magical disguise and save the day.
Sounds like an anime girl Batman.
Until one day...
Oh, there's a one day. Her secret is discovered. She goes on an adventure to find herself. She loses all of her wealth. No. She goes on an adventure to find herself. She decides to run from her noble life and do what she loves.
That's a good idea. She'll have to discover her own roots and how to fend for herself.
See, I'm on the wavelength. Yeah, exactly. It leaves a lot of room for character development. The two of us continued to build the story. By the end, Kira has several sketches of our different scenarios and ideas. Creating this character together was more fun than I anticipated. I could see why you're always sketching characters now. She glances at me.
You can?
Yeah, it's actually really fun to create stories for people.
It really is.
Something about her tone makes me pause. You don't normally do this, do you? But she's happy about it. Look at that face. Look at that face.
I draw a lot of characters, but the majority of them don't get used.
What about when you're creating mangas?
I come up with the story first.
She gently touches her drawing.
I like this way more, though.
Oh yeah? How come?
She feels less one-dimensional. Understanding her motivations gives me a better appreciation of who she is. It's too easy to learn one thing about a person and assume that's who they are.
Ain't that the truth? She sounds like she's speaking from experience, but I wouldn't have pegged Kira as the judgmental type.
When that happens often enough, everyone begins to seem one-dimensional.
I think I understand. Kira must deal with a lot of people who make assumptions about her because of her surname. She acts like it's no big deal, but that must affect her more than she lets on. I wonder if that's why she acts so nonchalant all the time. It sounds like that could be exhausting.
Sometimes, but you get used to it. The worst part is how you find yourself doing the same thing they do.
I see you for you. You're three-dimensional. Forget about what people think. No. I'ma use my moves here. I see you for you. You shouldn't have to be used to it. A person isn't defined by any one thing. You're a cool, creative, and talented person, and everyone should know that. She blinks, then smiles softly.
Thanks.
We suddenly notice how much time has gone by. There are only a few other students lingering in the quad. Kira gently shuts her sketchbook.
I should probably get back soon.
Yeah, me too. She hesitates.
Thank you for building this story with me.
Guys, you did the arm thing, yes. Of course. Maybe we can continue it together. It can be our little project. She offers me a smile.
I'd like that.
It's working. It's working. The silent charm is irresistible. For PixelFade waifus, at least. We say our goodbyes and go our separate ways. I begin the walk to go home. I'm glad we got to bond over something Kira is passionate about. The fact that she was able to open up and brainstorm with me makes me happy. She must really feel comfortable around me. When I get home, I head up into my room. I decide to get started on my homework. Thankfully, there isn't much to do tonight, which means I finish up early and can now relax. After putting my books away, I reward myself by playing a few games on my phone. Soon my eyes start to grow heavy. I set my phone aside and fall into a deep sleep because we have the hot springs tomorrow. That is going to be fun.